Hello, my name is Jennifer Hampton, and I am the Supervisor of Permitting and Licensing for Escambia County. I am here with Tim Tolbert, the Building Official of Escambia County, and we are going to go over some common questions that we receive via email. So Tim, can you give some advice on hiring a contractor to construct or renovate a home?
Well, there's plenty of information, on the internet, YouTube, and most of it's pretty good information, but I've got a little different perspective to answer that question. I believe that I would start with researching some subcontractors. If you're interested in a certain contractor, I believe I would do some research on the subcontractors that he normally uses for example, plumbing, electrical, and mechanical are three. And I know you can get a lot of that information. If that contractor is pulled permits, you can get that information from
our software provider, My
Right.
Government Online.
You get that information, and one red flag would be that if the contractor employs or hires a lot of different subcontractors, he changes subcontractors, for electrical or plumbing or mechanical, that's a red flag, and that indicates a lot of times that the pay is slow by that contractor, and that's a huge red flag. And if you do research a contractor and you find out who those subcontractors are, call them, ask them questions. They have the inside track on all the contractors. That normally that's not the only one they work for, and they can give a lot of good information on a particular contractor you're interested in. Or you might contact some prominent subcontractors in the area that do a lot of work, and they'll have the inside track on the good contractors and the questionable ones. You can get most of your good information could come from subcontractors.
How can I find out if my project is properly permitted?
Well, depending on the jurisdiction, Escambia County, you could call us or you could go online and check to see if there's a permit pulled with an address. Jennifer, you want to run down how you would do that, and you'd start an account, right?
Yeah, so you can go to mygovernmentonline.org and create a customer portal account. Within that account, you'll set up your information, your name and phone number. They will verify your account. Once your account is verified, then you can begin searching for any property address and see the permits that have been pulled at that address.
Can you identify subcontractors from those different permits?
You can. So whenever you pull up the property address, it does identify the person that pulled the permitting.
Good. That's some good information. And if they have trouble with that, we're happy to assist them.
So you mentioned red flags earlier. What are some red flags that a property owner should be aware of during the construction process?
Well, one we've heard of a lot is paying a lot down to get the project started. Another thing is looking at your contract, and you don't have any milestone dates. It doesn't lay out, for example, we should be dried in by this date. You can't always hold a contractor to the date, but at least you've got something established. And if you don't make that date, you could have some documentation satisfying the reason that that date wasn't met at that certain milestone. Also, I would ask for, and we're getting into negotiation and contract once you've picked a contractor, things like weekly updates. Mm-hmm. Establish that you want weekly updates on your project, from the beginning, because if you never say anything and the contractor has pressure in other areas or other jobs, they're probably going to go do the pressures and then come back to yours later. But if you establish that, you want these updates and, the milestones are a part of it too, then they'll feel a little pressure to give you the updates and be on your project a lot more. And they can be a great contractor and they're just really busy, but what's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to be working on where they got pressure and not where they don't have pressure. So, you want to establish that up front.
What requirements should be on a contract in regard to their license? I know that Florida statutes require that their license number be displayed. Is that also a red flag?
Yes, if you see an advertisement for a contractor and his license number is not a part of that advertisement, that's a Florida statute. They may not be licensed, and you can check that with the state at myfloridalicense.com, and you can verify their license. And if you're having trouble with the state, finding it online with the state, give us a call, 850-595-3550, and we'll be able to help you.
So we get questions often about, what if my project is stalling out? How can I get some movement on a project? So what advice would you give property owners about a project that has stalled out?
If the establishment of the milestones is not working and the weekly updates are not happening, then that's a huge red flag. And contact us and we could help you with that.
Okay. So for a lot of property owners, construction projects tend to fail. The contractor stops communication or doesn't get permits, or the project just goes south. In those instances, how can Escambia County help?
You need to call us and file a complaint, especially if a contractor's not gotten any permits. We need to know, and you need to call and file a complaint immediately, and we'll start working the complaint. Jennifer, you want to go over what happens if a complaint's filed?
So once we receive a formal complaint from a property owner, we begin the investigation process. Does it fit within the guidelines of what our Contractor Competency Board or our Board of Electrical Examiners can discipline for? Because they are limited in what they can do, and it only pertains to the license of the contractor. So we investigate it, see if it fits within our guidelines, and if it does, then we set up a hearing where we have both parties present, the complainant and the contractor. During that hearing, everyone is given an opportunity to speak on what occurred in the situation. And if they find that there's probable cause that a violation of county ordinance or Florida statute exists, then it will proceed to a disciplinary hearing. So the Escambia County Contractor Competency Board and Board of Electrical Examiners can only discipline locally licensed contractors, also known as state registered. If there's an issue with a state certified contractor, then you can file a complaint with the Department of Business and Professional Regulation, also at myfloridalicense.com.
Escambia County Building Services, we're proud of our customer service, and that's our pride. We have really good people that love to help, and I think if you talk to most contractors that we deal with all the time, they'll tell you that. We love to help folks, so if you have any concerns, we are happy for you to call and try to help you and give you some advice. That's what we do. We're public servants, and we're all proud to be doing that. We love our jobs. To summarize again, that in my opinion will help your project. To begin with, it's a red flag if you pay over 10% of the contract price. Also, up front, you want to establish that you're looking for weekly or maybe bi-weekly updates on your project. The communication between you and the contractor. Also set the milestones. I'll have this portion of the project completed at this date. And again, those can be adjusted. There a lot of times there's good reasons why the project is taking so long. But in my opinion, those are very important, and they seem to be problems that we see when someone files a complaint and there's issues. Those are always there. All or at least one of those issues pops up. But that would be my advice to anyone that's wanting to hire a contractor.